And coming to you for a special edition from the No BS Duo Show, a Happy Father's Day special designed just for Daddy. I learned it from watching you. So, bringing on your host, Will Frazier, and of course, lovely Sean. Hello, everybody, and happy Father's Day. Hey, 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 everybody. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. All fathers out there doing it. I see a lot of cookouts. I see a lot of cookouts today, and I see a lot of men united, and that's what I love to see. Happy Father's Day. We have a special guest, sis.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We have the father MC, the father Mr. TC,
What's
the
going on?
father
What's going
actor,
on?
the father of everything, know everything, do everything, Mr. TC, Mr.
What's
Storm.
up? What's up? What's going on? Guess what, y'all? I want to say thank
Yes.
you. Thank you for having me here. This is number one, a show that I'm thoroughly enjoying. It's your big homie TC Caldwell, BKA Storm E Weathers, and I'm coming to y'all from the stoop while I'm on a No BS Duo show. So guess what? We about to have a ball on this Father's Day special today, baby. Let's go.
I'm loving the fact that you're on the stoop because I was going to say to you, thank you for coming off the stoop
Sitting on
because
the
you're
stoop.
on the couch with me.
Yeah.
Because normally this is the time where I'm watching you while you kicking it up on the star,
Exactly,
on the stoop.
exactly. And I was telling some folks yesterday I might have a little surprise for them. I might do it on the stoop, a special on the stoop with Storm. I might not do it on the stoop with Storm. I said, but it's Father's Day, so I got to link up with the people in some way, shape, or form and bring them something happy for today because it's about the fathers. You know what I'm saying?
It's about the fathers. It definitely is. So again, I say happy Father's Day to my big brother Will
Happy Father's Day,
Frazier.
brother.
And you too, Mr. TC.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate it. Much appreciated.
So
Sorry, I'm a little in transit right now, but you know, business is business, showtime is showtime, as Russell Simmons always said.
You better talk about it, bro. You better
and
talk
I
not
about
need
it.
you to
only
rap. What he used to say, I need you to rap right on the spot, like right now. What about
Yeah.
tomorrow? No,
Yep.
I
Yeah,
need you
yeah,
to do it
yeah.
right
And I love it because and that's the first thing that Sister Shorter said. She like the father MC, and it's funny because Father MC was actually one of my favorite MCs back in the day, and
what
that's just how I am.
you say.
I drop them lyrics at the drop of a dime, baby. I don't care
You
who first and
don't
who last, but
say.
you gotta get on it.
Don't you
now.
tell me
Right.
you love Father MC.
Yeah, that was my dude. Treat them like they want to be treated. You better
You
treat
ain't
them
gonna
right. You
believe
heard?
this.
Then you ain't hear Jodeci and Mary J in the background.
You ain't gonna believe this one.
That's you. That's you.
How
Yeah,
about I was
yeah.
playing this today? I was hitting Father MC this morning. I woke
Listen,
up
that was
and I
my
was like,
dude.
yo.
That was my man. He was a little Big Daddy Kane, a little MC Hammer. You know what I'm saying? He had it. He had it all. Had Jodeci and Mary J behind him on the backup vocals. Come on, man. '92, he killed it. He killed it in '92.
Yes, he did. So on the dedication of that, we're gonna start our first dedication Father's Day song to TC with the song that I woke up to this morning.
That's what you
Let's
woke up
go.
to. That's what you woke up to.
Check him out. Check him. Listen to what he said. Listen.
Check me out. Do I look like a bug? Who wants a tight hug and a quickie on the rug? I ain't with a flam bam hit and run wham bam. Well, slow down. That's not the way I am. So come and check me and let me pursue. I want to get to know you cause I don't want to do you. So don't flip me cause I am not the one. My Nubian sister, I want to be with you.
What'd he say? What'd he say?
Listen,
Remember
don't
that
treat me
song.
like a don't treat me like a duck who wants a quickie on the rug. You dig me?
Yes, right? He was like, yo, my Nubian sister, my Nubian queen. I want to
Yeah,
be with you.
yeah,
I was like, I'm
yeah.
feeling what you're saying, brother.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely. So here's my guess. Here's my secret. So I usually have a traditional thing with me and my dad. So
Hmm.
what we would do is I would go, he would come up to Philly because my dad is in North Carolina. So he would come up to Philly and I would take him to Directions on 69th Street. Now, I already would have the suits laid out that I wanted him to pick from, but I will always know that whatever I pick, he was going to walk up and pick up the one that I wanted. So I already knew which one he was going to do, but I still let him do his own selection. And lo and
Hmm.
behold, he always picks out one of the selections that I was like, he's going like this, or he's going like that, or we're going to end up getting this. So we go to Directions and we get his little outfit. And then after that, we all come together as a family and have dinner. So luckily for us, a Graham was always graduating because this is graduation period. So that
Absolutely.
meant he not only was here for a graduation, but he was also here for Father's Day. So it was like a double win-win for us. And then we would have the Father's Day dinner. Well, quarantine happened, no graduations this year, and I get so dead. The man in the red Charger that drives up into Philly is not here. I ain't see the red Charger, but he had a mistake and let me know that he knew how to operate Zoom. So I was like, if he could operate Zoom, I know he could operate this. And my dad is in his 70s. I'm like, what the heck you know about Zoom? So he's going to go over to my aunt's house. He think he gonna have a FaceTime with us and the grands, but he's actually coming on the show so I can say Happy Father's Day to him.
Oh,
That's
that's what's
my.
up. That's what's up.
We're gonna see how
That's
that
what's
work
up.
out. You don't know what's going on, so we'll see what happens. He's gonna go to my aunt, and my aunt gonna say, "What? Do what?" I tried to
That's
call her
what.
to give it a heads up, so hopefully they'll pull it off and he'll pop up. So
Uh
he's
huh.
supposed to pop up around 3:15 or so. I know it's a little bit after 3:15, so I don't know what's going on. We'll see. So
Okay.
I'm probably gonna pick up the phone and call him and be like, "Daddy, where you at? Where you at?" He'll be like, "All right, all right, all right, all right." So I'm gonna let y'all know now. My daddy is real Southern, so I don't know if y'all gonna
That's all
understand
right.
what he's saying.
That's all right.
But that was just to
First of
give you a
all,
heads up.
we all Southern when it comes to it. And what part of North Carolina is he from?
Oh, he in between Elizabethtown, and he's in Elizabethtown. That's in between Lumberton and Fayetteville.
Okay. Yeah,
So he's
because
at the very end of
we're
the
from
exit
Durham.
before you go into Fayetteville.
Yeah,
No,
we're from Durham. So
my
I'm
uncle, my uncle, my uncle Kenny's in Durham. So let's do our shout outs real quick.
uh
So
huh.
I don't want to.
She locked up on us, bro. Uh-oh. All right, gotta wait for a signal to come back in.
Okay,
Okay, there we
so
go.
I don't know what's going on. It seems
Nothing.
like the circuits
Ain't
are a little
ain't
weird
ain't
today.
ain't nothing going on. We just
So
keeping it moving. Ain't nothing
just
going
keep
on.
it moving. Just give y'all a
Yep.
heads up. This may happen for
Ain't not,
frequency lately. This been happening ever since the T-Mobile thing happened, and we all know about that, right?
y'all getting new towers, so shit like that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. They ain't kill us fast enough. So anyway, let's hurry up and get everybody's shout outs together. Um, so I have a large size of families that I know of that I'm connected
Uh-huh.
with. I'm like one of the key generators of the family trees.
Got you.
So I'm just going to do a variety shout out to all the McCoy men in the family, happy Father's Day. All the Williams, happy Father's Days. All the Dobsons, happy Father's Days. All the Halls, happy Father's Days. All the Frasers, happy Father's Day. Stevensons, happy Father's Day. Halls, happy Father's Day. So I think with all those names, Whites, Greens, Johnsons, y'all name it, Woods, all of y'all in there, in my big pot. So if y'all
in there.
Y'all know I love y'all. And to my outside love of my outer circles, y'all know who y'all are. Uh-oh, look. Look. Let's see who that is. It's my daddy! It's my daddy!
What's going on?
I'm getting emotional. How are you?
Number one.
How are you? Can you hear me?
Who got the red hat on?
So you're on my show. You're on my show.
Huh?
I brought you on my show.
I'm live?
Yes, you're live. Happy Father's Day, Daddy. Happy Father's Day. So wait, I got something for you.
Dance, you can see me?
Huh?
If I dance, you can see me?
Maybe. Give Jennifer the phone. Give Jennifer the phone. I'm going to play the song for you to dance to. So this is the song that my daddy always danced to, that I love, and that used to drive me and my sister crazy, because he would be getting ready to go out, and he would put his cassette on, and he would play this song as he was getting dressed. Let me read. Hold on. Y'all ready?
Hey.
Oh, get it, Daddy. Oh, you better get it, Daddy. Oh, God. Lord of mercy. So that song go to my dad. You a kid, old man. So since I couldn't run down the street and grab your neck and blow the horn so you hear me coming,
right?
Since we couldn't go get our favorite soup from Directions, and we couldn't go out to dinner at our favorite restaurant, and you asked for your sweet tea, at least you know I can reach you straight. Yes.
Put it on hold.
Huh? Yeah, we're going to put it on hold. That's right. We're going to put it on hold.
That's right. North Carolina.
Yeah, in North Carolina. Now, I told y'all I learned it from him, because what's the first thing he said he wanted to do? He said, "Can I dance?"
Indeed. But hold on, he was in daddy mode. He was in daddy mode as soon as he got started. Yo, who that red hat?
I don't know him. Did you see him? He like, wait a minute, they don't look nothing at my girl. They don't look nothing at my grandkids. Hold on, we supposed to. So this is what happened. I told my dad that he was going to do a screening with me and the boys, because I found out that he knew how to work Zoom. So I knew if I told him I was bringing him on the show, he gonna be like, "Oh, girl, I ain't going on no show. I ain't doing no show, girl." But as you see, not only did he come on the show, but he
That's
put on the show.
Thank you, sir. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Make sure us young fellas keep it together so that we get be stepping like that when it's our turn.
All right, I'm back.
Still can do it. Still can do it. Okay, y'all.
Yes,
all
sir.
Right, Daddy.
Happy Father's Day, sir.
Happy
Father's Day, Daddy. I love you.
You too. Love you too.
I'll call you later.
Later. Love y'all.
Love you more.
Okay.
You got to ask Jennifer how to cut you off.
Uh-huh.
Tell Jennifer to cut you off.
Man, don't stop. Get it.
Okay. That's my daddy, I tell you. Well, so yeah, I'll give you that's my favorite daddy. That's one of my favorite daddy things. My dad could do that James Brown slide and make James Brown mad.
Get it. That's what I'm talking about.
But yeah, so he surprised me. He popped in. So now normally we'll be to dinner and I will be asking for dessert. So this is my dessert period. So I'm gonna be eating my ice cream while y'all tell y'all daddy stories. So go ahead, tell me your daddy story, Will. Will, you got a daddy story?
Sean, I have so many dad stories.
We listening.
I can say this much. Oh, please don't walk in front of the car. Okay. Somebody's about to walk in front of the car. Eek, don't do that. I have so many. So I'm just going to just condense it into lessons that I have learned from my dad. It's not really a dad story. It's more like teaching.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my father, for years, he was the breadwinner of the family. My mom stayed home. My mom, he put my mom actually through school and stuff like that. But my dad, he was the one that held it down. Now, don't get me wrong, my mom did her part, but my dad was the one that held it all together. And my dad used to go to work. He used to take the subway. Sometimes he used to ride the bike to work. And I used to get up in the morning, watch my dad go to work and stuff like that. My dad do 12-hour days, sometimes 15-hour days. He did what he had to do to keep, the family strong together. I learned that determination and I learned that commitment from my dad because it's Mr. TC and Shauna, we all know that not all, but that commitment today is, it's not much of that flowing around. So as a young kid growing up, my father was definitely my hero. I learned how to be a man through my dad, how to be accountable for things I've done. And basically just all about life. You know what I mean? My father, he never held no punches with me. He was just straight up, and he always told me that experience is the best teacher. So I just want to say, it's like I said, it's no story. It's just more like a dedication.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, Dad. I love the lessons my father has taught me. And I myself today is learning and doing those same things that my children have learned from me. And like I said, hey, tradition continues.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Amen.
All right. I hear you. What you got, TC?
I should have went first then. No, that's a wonderful and inspiring, synopsis for any father and any man to have about his father. And mine isn't that much different. Folks know that I utilize the social media platforms primarily for entertainment and promotional purposes for what we do in entertainment. But Um, if there's anybody in my family that folks know on social media or have seen, is my father, because I have the luxury of having a wonderfully grounded and supportive father. And it's strange, and not even as strange, but it didn't always seem that way growing up. But what I learned from my father, that imperfection is part of God's perfect plan. So everything is not going to go the way you think it should go. Everything is not going to go the way you want it to go or would like for it to go. It's going to go as according to God's template, and we just have to walk it out. And my father, when we were younger, because it's a lot of us, and it used to seem like my father was mean, but now that became a father, that I'm older, I understood and understand better the position that he was in, because my father was the type of man that if he dealt with a lady or when he got married, all the children were his children. So it didn't matter what scenario or situation was going on outside of him. He took care of everybody. He came to take us to the movies. Our other brothers and sisters went to the movies. If we were going to the movie or to the carnival, all of us went to the carnival. And that's one thing that was always prevalent with my father, is that we were all included. Nobody was ever left out. And literally, it would be my brothers, my sisters, myself, my cousin, and some of the neighbors, and we would all be out together. So my father really gave me the heart of loving and giving as much as you can, because those things mean more to me now than anything that he ever bought me. So as a father, I take a lot of the lessons that he gave me and that he showed me. We came up in a time where you got beat, you got whooped, you know, and I always say those things didn't make me less of a man or less of a strong person. Now, what it did was it taught me boundaries. It gave me a foundation. It told me that you cannot go out into the world and do what you want and not suffer consequences. But you also, when you go out into the world and do good, my father was one of the loudest people in the theater, in the arena, in the auditorium. He was the person that when I got into the music business, he actually pushed me away, or not even pushed me away, but he didn't support me then because I was a rapper. He wanted me to sing. My father is a singer. He wanted me to sing. The first thing he said is that rap music ain't gonna be around. That's not even music. It's a fad. Yada 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 yada. I had to learn the music business on my own. And what I learned and what I gathered, by the time it was time to negotiate with record labels and things like that, he was all on board because he saw how serious I was with pursuing some goals. So my father just instilled so much in me when it came to, loving, supporting, having direction, having boundaries, and just going after what you want to go after. And again, as great as a man as he is, he wasn't perfect, and I learned and understand that that's a part of it too. Because my father and I, not only are we father and son, we are like best friends. And I love my father to death, Mr. Stephen James Caldwell Sr. Thank you so much for being the man that you were to make me the man that I am, for my brothers and my sisters, my cousins that you cared for and took care of, and all the family members that came through the Caldwell house and left knowing that they were loved and supported. Thank you, Father. I love you. Ain't nobody over there crying. Kind of quiet now. What's going on? I did too much.
No, I was definitely moved.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
moved because that's true. When we were growing up, we felt our parents were so wrong, mean, strict,
Hmm.
but we didn't realize that some of them came into being a parent by rules that was ruled by them.
Right.
So when you were saying, given the circumstances, or, be based off of, we didn't come with instructions.
That's right.
It was like a step by step learning process. And as a result of that process is sometimes we got hurt along the way, just like any relationship.
Yep.
But it happened and it ran that way. And when I think back and I look back at the things that I learned from my dad, being a woman, I used to be mad because I was saying, I had to find out a lot of stuff on my own as a woman, where I was like, I really needed my dad. I needed to have them dad conversations. And but I couldn't get mad at him because after I learned that I couldn't have the conversation because he didn't know how to have the conversation. So with that being known and that being said, it totally says exactly what you said. Given the situation, they dealt with what they dealt with and they did it the way they did it. And some things was a hard experience, but I'm so glad that I know that when my hot water heater messes up, or when my dishwasher messes up, or when I can't get to the car wash, or when I can't really get those socks that my boys walk in clean when I go to the laundromat, I know how to go get that little scrub board that they used to use for the I know, because that's what he taught me.
There you go.
I have an appreciation for some of the things that some people don't know about, and they be like, wow, she's so young but yet she knows about this and this and that. Yeah, my dad was a country boy.
That's right.
While we was up here in Philly still having house inside plumbing, they were still having outside plumbing. I remember going down there for the summer and I was like, I don't want to go. And my mom was like, why? I like, because they go to the bathroom outside.
Spoiled.
So I'm like, I don't want to go. And I'm like, well, why you want to go? Because they don't have pavements. They got dirt. So, I didn't. I was like, no, we're not doing this. No, we're not doing this. But then, like I said, now I can't stay from down south. Now I have to go to the country. I feel the need to be. But because of what you said about your dad, I have a dedication song for you.
Okay.
This is for TC and his dad. Some of us got to understand that it's those 5 steps that taught us lives from our parents. Here go one. I don't know how much longer you're gonna be here, so I say my prayers every night. One for my mother, one for my father, and one for the love of my life. So if you decide to leave today, then leave tomorrow at the door, and take only half of yesterday, and forget all hope for the present, 'cause it just went by. From eternity, we were 4 steps back to love. We were 3 wishes from touching heaven above. Said we were 5 steps from eternity. 4 steps, 4 steps back to salvation. Said you know it, from touching the heavens
Another day is gone. Another night now gone. Would it take me? Won't you return? Another day fall.
Why you say goodbye? I'm still
Feel your presence in my bed at night. Reality was let it go. Now let it end for a man for all. forced to end the memory of pain around an empty heart. Oh, you better stop it.
Ah, steps.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
better
yeah,
say.
yeah,
You better
yeah,
say. See, y'all
yeah.
ain't know
That's
y'all gonna have a live performance. What?
yeah.
What?
That was
What?
my
What? Only
That's
daddies can
that
do stuff like that. Only daddies can pop up and do stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about.
that that's one of my songs, man. And my father knows how much he knows how much I care for him. We talk regularly. And it's another thing that the fact that I work with the youth of the city, and I have so for over 35, going on close to 38 years actually, and um, voluntary in being public, working for public, working for a nonprofit. A lot of these young men that I come across don't have that feeling, don't have that fatherly presence in their life. And one thing that I try to do is I try to be as close to an example of what a strong black man should be in our communities, present. Because in my job, the black men on my job are usually where a lot of the youngsters that I work with see the most gainfully employed black men. So we have a responsibility. So it's very necessary for these young men that have displaced aggression and anger issues because of the absence of a male figure, a responsible male figure, or even a respectable male figure. Because we all have a story or something somewhere. So I know somewhere out in the world somebody like TC ain't perfect, TC ain't this, he ain't this. Well, you're right, and I never claimed to be. But one thing that you cannot say is that when it comes to children, that I don't have a caring heart. Now, I might be a certain kind of way towards certain adults because of how they behave or how they choose to minister. But when it comes to the youth and to the children, they have to have an example. We have a responsibility as men, and I'm not discluding, I'm not discounting or excluding women, because women are innately nurturing for the most part. They are the bearers of the children. So they already know how to love before a child even comes into the world. Men have a different course of action, and we were always looked at as those that applied discipline while the mothers applied nurturing. Well, men have to make sure that we nurture these young men and young women as examples of what the expectations are out here in this world from them and to them, so that they can be prepared once they get on that other side of adulthood. So that 5 steps, that 5 steps is Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Mother, and Father for me. So
You better break that thing down again. Tell them again, just in case they ain't hear you. Say
no,
it again.
the 5 steps for me are the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, my mother, and my father. And without those things, man, we are lost. We are really and truly lost.
That's true. That's true. I often say that, we always say that a son needs his dad,
Hmm.
but a daughter needs her dad too. My pastor was saying that he taught his daughter what love looked like. He taught his daughter what love looks like coming from a man.
Right.
And it was like, if he took her,
I can agree with that.
to a restaurant, and if the restaurant that he took her to, and I'm gonna make this plain, some of y'all gonna be like, did she really do that? If daddy can afford, and daddy's gonna take me to the Cheesecake Factory, you're not taking me to McDonald's. If my dad can
Heard
come
that.
and open up the door for me
I've
when it's
heard
time
that.
for me, if my dad opens up the door for me to get in the car, then that means you're going to do the same. If my dad shows me the love and affection from a man, and that lets me know that a man can give that, as stern and hard and strict as he is, I don't want to hear you telling me, well, that's my demeanor or be macho with me.
Yes.
So, to a certain extent, somebody going to say, I don't totally agree with that. To a certain extent, it's a little exaggerated, but you get my point. The point is, your father, for some females, is supposed to be, not supposed to be, but kind of is your first boyfriend. And how I know that to be was because if you couldn't dance, if you couldn't dress, if you didn't have a good position about yourself, you didn't look right, didn't have that swag about you, I ain't dig you. And I used to wonder, they're like, what's your type? Until my mom said one day, girl, you married your dad. I like, no, I didn't. He like, yes, you did. And I happened to look outside. He was washing his car like my dad. He was doing things like, and I was like, yo. I was like, no. But I've started realizing that, some things, because that's what I saw from a man. So for me, that was my model man.
As it's supposed to be.
So when sometimes when females be like, or my kids will be fine without them. Yeah, they will be fine, but we should not be satisfied with that. We should understand that we can co-parent. We don't have to get along, but at least get along in front of the kids. And people say, I don't want to act in front of my kids. You're not acting. Because if you was at work and you didn't get along with somebody, or you didn't do something with somebody, you put on a different type of position and you was getting paid for that work. So do it at home. And then what you're doing is you're teaching your kids how to work through different diversities in life. And that when it doesn't work, you don't just say that's it, that's them done. You learn how to deal with that situation and keep it moving. You know your ins and outs, and you know your boundaries. Just like my ex-husband, he knows his boundaries when it comes to me about my kids. Because my thing is about my kids. And he used to use that as a chokeholder on me. But I didn't allow that to be the reason for why he could not have the relationship he needed to have with his kids. And once we do that, then we can be able to properly have the father relationship. You said something earlier that I really appreciated. You said you are now friends, really close with your father. That's where it is. It's at the end, not the beginning. I ain't trying to be your friend now. I'm trying to show you life right now. And at the end, when you win, then we can sit down and talk like we buddies and boom pals and laugh about it. But as right now, we need to learn our places in our kids' lives. So for you fathers out there that are trying to be fathers, and you have that female that's not allowing you to be that father, know that there are women out here that are praying that changes, because kids need their fathers. And fathers, stop thinking you need your kids. Stop treating your kids like they're your buddy and your girlfriend and your boys. Like, yo, they ain't calling me, so I ain't calling them. That's your kid. Call them. Make that relationship. Make that connection. My brother said that today in his live. He was like, if you ain't seen your son, you ain't got a relationship with your sons and your daughters, make it one today, and be receptive, y'all, because once we learn how to get it right, then everybody else will start seeing it. And then we all as a one can get it right. And then
Shauna, with that being said, you're talking about what I said this morning and last night. I also said this. A lot of men sometimes, because they haven't had that relationship with their son or daughter, when they do try to make some type of relationship, there's always pushback. Let me tell you something. It's going to be pushback. It's going to be pushback. But as long as you are consistent in trying to build that relationship, because like I said, I mean, this COVID-19 and all that stuff like that, no one expected this. No one expected this world to be where we're at right now. But a lot of racial tension and all that stuff flipping up and down, and people just going just everywhere. Right now, if you don't know the messages or if you don't know the signs, like I said, I can't say it far enough. I have friends, some of my good friends, and some of them didn't have their fathers in their life. And, when growing up, they used to say how they felt and all that stuff like that. I couldn't relate because I had my father in my life. However, looking at their standpoint on where some things that they wish they could have did, would have, could have, should have, and nobody came forth and tried to make amends. So you got a lot of people who's bitter and angry, like Mr. TC said, with this build up aggression. Oh, my dad ain't do nothing for me, and not just young men, women too. My dad this, my dad that. Listen, women need their fathers. Boys turning into men need their fathers. And if you look at what's happening today, more fathers need to step up more than ever. Listen, if you don't believe me, just take a look at the environment, what's going around. Take a look at what's happening today. Young men getting incarcerated. Young men, we're dying. It's just a lot going on today. And a father presence in the child's life, like I said earlier, don't matter if you get along with the mother or not. Stop calling her your baby mama. She has a name. When you got with her, you called her by her name. So don't call her, oh my. That sounds disgusting. Linda, Judy, Tracy, whatever her name was, that's who you deal with. It's for the kids. It's not for you. And I myself have learned that it's not about me. It's about what's important for my children. Amen to that.
And your kids never get old. So I don't want you to hear that stuff. Well, they're 17. They should be able to talk for themselves. Okay, well, still, I'm their mama. Going to always be their mama, even when they're 37, 47, 67, 87, 90. I'm going to be their mama. Even after I go to heaven, I'm still their mama. So so stop that. But you know what? This ain't even we're not, and I want you to understand, if you start to tune in, we're not bashing our fathers. We're celebrating you, because there are some fathers that's out there doing this. And that's why we're talking to you, because we're giving you hope to understand that Father's Day needs to change. It needs to be just as important as Mother's Day. And let me say this.
I agree.
Everybody always say the big hype is Mama's Day.
Listen,
you know why the big hype is about Mama's Day?
Listen.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why the big hype is Mama's Day. And then I'm gonna let you know, TC. I'm gonna let you go, TC. My pastor said, yeah, I know. Y'all like, she love her pastor. Well, that's who gives me a lot of my information. Mm-hmm. So my pastor said to me, while I was christening my son, both my sons. So if I didn't hear it the first time, I heard it the second time. Okay. And I'm always there when he's christening a baby. So he says it to every mother and father that gets their child christened. They all say the same thing. It's repetitive. And what they say is this: grandma is not the babysitters. Aunties and godmothers are not the babysitters. God gave these kids to you. For whatever reason he did, for whatever reason, how it happened, when it happened, and here you go. He didn't say it verbatim like that, but that's what he said. But this is what he did say verbatim. He said, Daddy is going to be here, but sometimes Daddy's going to go. But Mama, and he took that baby and put that baby in my arm and said, it's going to always be there. And because Mama's always there, the big hype is Mama, because Daddy's not there. Daddy's not around. Daddy, something happened to Daddy. For whatever reason, there's no Daddy. So I don't feel as though I need to get with Daddy. I don't need to celebrate Daddy. I'm going to celebrate the one who's always here. But guess what? There are some daddies who's always here too. And because you're always there, Daddy, we need to celebrate you just as big as we celebrate mamas. When we go to the restaurant, we shouldn't be able to sit down for Daddy either. We should have some specials. And that was one of the reasons why we did a special this time, because we felt as though if we was able to do a special Mother's Day edition due to quarantine, we should be able to do the same thing for our fathers too. That's and right. If you love your daddy and you mad at your daddy, I need you to get over that, because you don't want to go to the graveyard and be like, Dad, I'm never going to see my daddy. And only thing you're going to remember is the anger that you have for your daddy. Go ahead, TC.
Um, I have a regular statement that I say. Mother's Day, every kiss begin with K. Father's Day, for my milk. we get, we get, we get, it's diamonds and pearls for mamas, neckties and socks for daddies. It's like anything else to make us know we got to work harder and walk longer. Like, come on, man. Y'all get the bling and we get the shoestring. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you're absolutely right, and understanding, and like like I said, mothers are more are celebrated in that way because of the the gestation, the pregnancy process. This is the second person that touches them in most cases after the doctors. Only if I was in the birthing room, I was the second person to touch the baby, and then she went to mama. But that's my case. But all in all, that's the thing is, and just listening to what your brother was saying, it's like it struck so many things because um yeah, those relationships need to be mended. Fences need to be mended. Aggravation needs to be moved past. And some people just aren't there yet. And it's unfortunate because I always say I'm not a arguing person. Not that I don't get angry, not that I don't get upset. I'm not an arguing person. And so there's just certain things I'm not going to do in front of or around my children. So if adults can't get along and nobody knows how to take it to another room or have a discussion and fix it, that arguing and fighting and stuff like that in front of children, that's not good because then we wonder where the children get their level of aggression from. And it's just so important. And like Pastor said, mama's going to always be there. Well, my father and I were already close, pretty much in my life anyway. But the fact that my I lost my biological mother when I was 20, turning 21. I lost my stepmother, my father's second wife, who was in my life, I guess, since I was 2 or 3, and then they got married when I was a teenager. Lost her, 11 years ago in '09. And then I have my brothers, my brothers and sisters' mom, who I was always able to go to, call on. And, she passed, a godmother that passed. So having that good relationship with my father helped me make it through those times because when I lost my mother, again, I was 21 years old. I've been without my mother longer than I had her. So he was the first person I was looking for. And it was crazy because at the same time, I'm caring for my sister who's 7 years younger than me. So there was a lot of growing up that I already did, but then there was a lot more that I had to do because of going through that and my father being there to be the support that I needed. And he's still there as the support that I need as a grown man. Um, so those strains of emotional attachment, and those bonds have to be there. And as it was said, we have to find a way to get over things because, fathers are very important and a part of the development of the children, our families, our extended families in the community. And what just needs to happen is not even so much about Father's Day and the gifts, but just every day. Fathers need to be understood to be an integral part of children's growth, not just their children, but the children that they're around. Because again, being an example to the children that see you in the community, in the schools, and out in public, and if they see a grown man walk around with his pants sagging, trying to act like a young fella and what have you, and I mean really overtly trying to be like that, yeah, they're gonna emulate that. So they're gonna think it's okay to be older, acting like that, which is immature, and then they never mature. I'm considered a square in most senses because I don't operate certain ways out in public and around certain folks because that's not the example that I want to set. Because I get up and go to work every day. I have a business. I have these luxuries of being on a performance platform to spread different types of energies and word and wealth of knowledge. having people like you to partner up and team with to let it be stood and understand. Not every woman feels the negative way that we keep hearing how most men are portrayed in certain situations, especially when the relationship didn't work out between the adults. So we just have to grow, continue to grow, and try to mend those fences as best we can, just like your brother said.
Yeah, it's amazing because I used to always say to my kids, I never bashed them. I never bashed him in front of my kids. And even when they thought I was, I clearly explained to them, no, I'm just telling you what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you needed to know, but some things that happen, I need you to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And by me telling them that, I always used to say, when you look at somebody and you see the end result of that person's story, or you see where they're ending up in their story,
Mm-hmm.
you see how they act to cause them or what places them in that storyline.
Right.
So by you seeing that person, if you always see somebody, like you said, if I always see somebody portrayed in front of me with their pants down, no respect, hat turned to the back,
Hey,
always
hey,
mugging.
hey.
Not that didn't finish you. I didn't finish you because I got something about you because you funny. And face mugging you. When you got that in front of you all day, every day, and they never show you the difference between when to be hood
Exactly.
versus to be
Exactly.
style man, when you need to put that tie on, when you need to put that shape up, or when you need to turn that hat to the front, they're going to always believe that this is what it's always supposed to be.
Exactly.
And when you have that in front of you, you let them know where this is where you end up when you do this. But when you do this is what you end up. Now, here
Mm-hmm.
we go. I'm going to tell you about TC, and then I'm going to tell you about my brother, and then I got a dedication to my brother.
Oh, I
So
can't wait to hear. I cannot wait to hear this.
So TC, you're funny
Yes.
because
Yes.
you said, the way that your position is and your way, how you present yourself and your mannerism.
Yes.
So everybody I was going on and setting up the show, and Jared, my son, heard this particular voice. Now, Jared haven't known TC for very long, but for the impression that he left a memorable one till the fact that Jared would know who he is. So I'm talking to TC and I'm like, yo, TC. So all of a sudden, Jared jumps all the way into my conversation and says, are you talking about Storm? And I look at him like, yo, like, where's the hanger? Like, really? But that was because that's the relationship of how y'all met. When y'all met, that's how he knew you. But he also knows the respect of the manner of when to deal with you and how to deal with you when the hanger needs to be presented.
Yes.
So what was funny is
I
so what's fun, huh?
hold on, sis. I'm inside a school right now, so forgive me both if my internet bounces in and out.
Okay.
I'm doing the show in daycare, so I think they turned their internet off. I'm not sure, but I'm still here. Just let you know.
All right, I'm gonna make
That's
it quick
right.
because I want you to hear your dedication. So
Oh, I'm gonna be here. I'm here. I'm just looking around, see what we got to do.
okay, so TC told us he don't like to argue. Have anybody ever seen TC when he look like he's about to say something to you that will make you feel like you may even think about wanting to even attempt to argue? You know what? I do this a lot, but I'm going to do it today. Let me get a little closer. Let me see if I can get this better lighting. Here we go. Look. Do y'all see my face?
TC, you ain't like Suge Knight, are you?
Wait. I want you to see my face. I need you
I
to
don't
give me
know.
a
TC Knight.
I
No,
don't
I
know.
need
TC
y'all to
Knight.
see. No, wait. I need them to see my face and listen to me clearly. Hold on. Have y'all ever been that close to TC where he looks like he's getting ready to say something and you look at him and attempt to want to argue? Have you ever seen that face he give you? To the point that you want to say, you know what, and he turn around and look at you like, and you go,
very few people ever have experienced any of that.
You know why?
Very
You
few
know
people
why?
have ever.
Let me try it again. Have you ever seen him put in a position where he looked like he want to warn you? He give you that turn like, and you be like, did you see the sit back? Did
TC,
you see the fall back?
Sir,
Now
yes,
do
wait
you
a
sir.
make them
minute.
choke?
Yes,
Do
sir,
you
Wait,
brother.
make
What?
people?
by
Do you make
just
them choke?
the look of him, I understand why now. They used to always keep him positioned at the school district board of 440. Because when the mothers wanted to come in there and act a fool, and they came to that front desk without no badge or what no ID, and they wanted to start right then and there declaring stuff, TC give them that look like, you want to, they be like, and then he does it so smooth, because he'll be in the middle of a conversation. He goes, wait a minute. He'll be talking to somebody. He'll be like, wait a minute. And he do that turn, and like their whole turn be like, without no words.
Brother,
No
brother Will, brother Will, brother Will, brother
Yes,
Will,
Mr. Knight. Yes,
brother
Mr.
Will.
Knight.
No
Yes,
Listen,
Mr.
words.
Knight.
brother Will.
Yes, sir.
All it is a gentlemanly, candid demeanor that establishes that business is not here today.
I got that.
We have a particular set of rules, instructions, orders, directives, and protocols. All we ask is that you follow them. That's all we ask. Because
I feel that.
the you do, and my thing is, you don't have to follow them, but that's on that side of the door.
Right.
Have a good day, sir. Have a good day. Have a good day, man.
But
But
nobody ever gets to hear those
sister
words.
what your sister is talking about is the fact
Yeah.
that usually I'm there trying to I'm where she's talking about, and I'm coming up to either say something to an officer or give them some information or directions or give somebody directions. And as a supervisor, I can't let you take advantage of my people and they're telling you what's supposed to happen and you just gonna berate them with this negativity, and it's okay to be unsatisfied with certain things. So that's why you ask for a supervisor. Well, guess what? I'm already here. How can I help you? That's,
No,
you're not gonna be
no.
okay.
TC got this
Wait a minute.
thing about
You said
him
you said
that
you have
when
a song for your brother.
TC got this thing about him that when he lifts his head up, the music in the background plays. The warnings,
Miss
the warning music plays in the back,
TC.
like
Oh
TC.
my Lord. Yes, sir.
TC.
Yes, sir.
and you're like, and he give you that look, and by the time the
Yep.
song ends, you be like,
Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord.
I think
Yes,
I made
sir.
a wrong turn. And he goes, have a nice day. And he wonders why when he gets those acting parts and he plays the bad guy while we be like, and the Oscar goes to.
TC, all I gotta ask you
Yes, sir.
this.
Yes, sir.
I gotta ask you this.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna take you back. The movie
Yes.
5 Heartbeats. Let
Yes,
me bring the scene to you.
Okay.
My office hours are from 9 to 5. No, motherfucker. We're gonna talk about right now about how you handle your books.
Excuse me, ladies. Get that motherfucker in
Yeah,
the window.
there you go. There you go.
Get that motherfucker in the window. Get him up there. You want to talk to me about my book? He said, now.
You got him.
My
Will,
business
you
hours
got
are
him.
from.
I told you, the music
That's
plays
how you do it.
background.
That's how you do it. I can feel you. I feel you. And
You know,
remember, when it was all said and done, he said, bring him in here, boys.
Bring him in here, boy.
So my office hours is, take it away, TC. His office hours is.
My office hours are from 9 to 5. So you got a question with how I handle my royalties in my books. My office hours are from
Look at him, y'all. Look at the next carpet walking.
Open that goddamn window.
Look at the next carpet walking. Look at him. He gonna get an Oscar, y'all.
Listen, man. When them people call me, listen, like Shauna said, when them people call me for these bad guys, for the bad guy parts, it was like, yo, we wrote this part. You was the first person we thought of. We was hoping you was available. I'm like, what? They just listen. They say you go all the way in, and I'm like,
All
all
the
right, let's
way.
go.
All
You're
the
supposed to.
They said we already know.
I
They said
first,
we know you the father. We know you the big brother. We know you the pastor. They said we need the killer. We need the mean guy today. I said okay.
look, when
I
me,
got
Wait,
you.
wait,
when me,
wait, wait a minute. I'm gonna say that since we talking about that. Wait till y'all see um the deepest cut by Jordan Campbell. We got stalled because of COVID-19, and there's also
Okay.
a short film that I'm in called Small and Mighty by Christina Brown Gomez, and talk about two dudes, two bad guys. But man, that doggone deepest cut. Let's just say people are going to see a side of me that they have never seen in acting. It's
I seen
it's
it.
it's
I seen
Just
it because I know it personally. Let's just say
Mr.
that.
Mr. TC, dig this, dig this,
yes
dig
sir,
this.
yes sir.
You said that line from Five Heartbeats so well. I believe you. Also, listen. Also, I was gonna throw a joke. I was when I kept calling you TC Knight, I was thinking about that movie, another one, All Eyes on Me, when
Okay.
the boy walked around the table and he
Uh
talked
huh.
about Suge Knight talked about honesty and loyalty. He
Yeah
said,
yeah
like
yeah
my
yeah
man right here.
yeah yeah.
You
Yep
thirsty?
yep. Yeah, you
You been eating
thirsty?
off my
How you
plate?
been eating off my plate? Huh? He said, so that's why you felt the need to go ahead and decide to let me know what you was doing on top. Oh, I wasn't doing it. Don't me. No.
Yeah,
Listen, but it's funny that you said Mr. Knight because unfortunately there's a defunct project that I was a part of where I played a character with me and Rodney Perry played brothers, and I played Demetrius Knight. That was my name, Demetrius Knight. So I channeled my inner Suge because I was wearing a lot of red.
right.
Rodney Perry being so much shorter than I, with me, as a big brother towering over him, twice as wide as him, and we going and doing our scenes. Man, people like, yo, you sure you ain't Suge Knight up here looking like? He's like, you Suge Knight east out this joint, man. They said, cause you out here looking swole and all that red.
No, you getting in the way. That's what you're supposed to do.
Listen, and you don't get no calls if you don't get like that.
No,
So
you
You
don't.
sure
You
don't.
don't.
it's a fortunate it's not that's not fortunate. It's a blessing. It's a blessing, and I
Right.
tell people all the time, it is such a blessing to be able to do what we're called to do as performers on any platform.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a blessing when people care enough and consider you to call you when they're writing a part or when they having auditions and you go through the audition as a formality, you do the submissions and all that. They say, "Oh, the part was yours anyway," but we have to make sure we hold an audition just in case of this thing or the other thing, or if you're not available. And
Right.
again, it's a wonderful thing and a testament to the amount of work that I've put in, that these people have put in, because people love the diamonds, they hate the precious. You know what I'm saying? And we have to work so hard to do even just a short film, just a webisode, or something of 6 to 9 minutes requires so much work and time. So when you're doing full length feature films and you have the call from somebody to be a part of a full length feature film, listen, it is truly a blessing to be able to do what we do and love what we do, and just to be able to grow in the community that we're doing it in right now.
So, first time I met TC, he walked in the door in character. I know
Gotcha.
who he was. He
You're
was till,
supposed to.
he was till death do us part. He was Mr.
That's the
Williams,
that's the job.
and he was
That's
the
right.
father to my niece's husband, who had just told me that she found out he was cheating on her.
Mm.
And so when I met TC, I'm Auntie Max. Everybody loved Auntie Max. But when Auntie Max saw T, she was like, well, who the hell is this? I mean, he walked in the door before we even read lines. Like, then I'm looking at him like, who's this guy right here?
In character. In character.
But wait, but
when
this
I
was
say
the
that,
problem. But this was the problem. We never saw TC, so we did not know he was walking in character until after everything was over. He was like, "So, yo, what's up?" I was like, "What?" Wait a minute. Wait, I'm confused. It don't take much to confuse me now. You was acting one way, and now you acting one way. He's like, "Oh, I'm just a character, baby. I'm just a character, baby. I'm just TC Stormy." I said, "I understand because the storm goes different ways, and you just went real funky on me just now." And I was looking
she
at him
was like,
like, "What?"
she said, "Wait a minute, what's going on here? You bipolar?" I was like, "Nah." I said, "I was
So it
character,
is.
baby. Ain't nothing but
You
little Mr.
remember
Williams
that?
going on.
You
Ain't nothing but
remember
little
That's what
Mr.
he's
Williams."
that's what he's
I
supposed to
sure
do.
did.
That's what makes his craft even better. A lot of you know what? A lot of people today, so-called actors, so-called actresses, so-called singers and all that stuff like that. If you don't love your craft, what you do, then you can't call yourself that. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people get that instant, oh, I'm on a reality TV show, or hey, I just put this song on Spotify and I'm a great singer. I put my comedian stuff on Instagram and I'm this and this and that. If you don't love your craft, and hone it and perfect it, it don't matter what social media outlet that you put it on, you
You're
still
absolutely right.
can't be considered that if you don't hone your craft. And
You're
I'm
absolutely
old school,
right.
Mr. TC. I'm old school. I believe anybody who puts let me sit down in this chair real quick because I'm running around real quick. Anybody who puts a title on what they do, damn it, you better love what you do. And that's all I'm saying. Love what you do. So when you came in and you met my sister, you was in character, you love the craft that you do. And I respect people that love what they do. Not pretenders to the throne. I'm talking about people who love what they do. And I commend you for it.
Thank you, and that's the one thing that I try to impart on my mentees is, or even when I'm doing a show with folks that kind of got voluntold they had to do it. Like, and that's usually in most cases when I'm performing with children. They're in a particular play or show because somebody told them to be in it. I say,
Right.
well, you still got to. I say, you still got to find a way to have fun. I say, because what happens is if you don't have fun, then the rest of us that actually love doing this don't have fun. So let's try to find a way to make it fun. Let's try to find a way to push each other to do. Let's do some improv. Let's do some other stuff before we start the lines, so you can start getting the juices flowing and having fun with what we're doing. Because you're absolutely right. You have to love this. I mean, you really have to love it, and you really have to love it because this is the second most vain business outside of modeling, because you truly have to get up there and be exposed in front of other people. And there are a lot more no's in this business than yeses. And by the time you start getting your yeses, you have to really cherish them and crave them, because you learn how to get yeses from your no's. And you have to put yourself in places where people don't know you to find out how good you are, or where you need to grow. I don't want to say how good you are, but where you need to improve and need to grow. Because I had an experience of going to the mecca of stage theater, New York City, to do a performance, and it was in a festival. We were being critiqued, and we almost got laughed out the place, because these are people that eat, sleep, and breathe theater. And
correct.
They were like, well, the father, the mother, and the daughter, they carried the show, whereas the other characters, we didn't see chemistry, we didn't see these things. And what it did to me was someone that shouldn't have responded or spoke tried to give an excuse rather than just saying thank you, we'll work on it, or what have you. And when we had our team meeting, kind of had to have a conversation. I said, I said, that's the Philly attitude. I said, you were told how good you were back home. You got here where these people live this and got told the truth, and
Yeah.
your feelings got hurt. These people said this is what they do. They watch theater all day, every day. They facilitate platforms and programs for people to come and present their works to see if it's of the level of being on Broadway and moving forward. All you have to do is say thank you. We'll work on, or thank you so much for your time. Don't give an excuse, because now you've set yourself further back.
Mm-hmm.
The people even told me, they were like, "Hey, Mr. Caldwell," they said, we love your suits and ties, and we love all your wardrobe, but we didn't need to see it all. I was like, "What? I didn't have to change that much. Thank you so much." You know what I'm saying? So knowing that going forward, that sometimes when in my mind, when I go through a script, it's like, okay, this is day 1, this is day 2, this is day 4, this is day 5, thinking, okay, I gotta have 6 different outfits. They were like, no, all you have to do is just change your jacket, change your shirt. You don't have to do a whole entire wardrobe change from scene to scene. And that will keep you more ready, because we could see that you had just finished changing, but you were on your spot in time, but we could just see that you had been moving before you got on the stage. I was like, oh, thank you very much. I'll use that. And they were like, yeah, but you're wonderful. Anytime you come back, please look us up. Oh, you better believe I'm going to do that. So that's the thing that I try to teach the mentees and the novice actors and the new actors is learn to love what we're doing, because people will tell you straight up if they are not satisfied with the work.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So with that being said, let me tell you about my brother, that one right there.
Let's talk. Just get it
Well,
off me for a second.
at the beginning of the show, that father right there, at the beginning of the show, that father right there, who was y'all talking about? Y'all was saying somebody said that y'all got to be on time, or what did he say? What y'all say?
I said,
Y'all mentioned somebody. Russell, who did y'all refer to? Russell Simmons?
yes. What I was saying, sis, was Russell Simmons. Like, you got on the show and you said, "Are you ready?" And I said, "No, but let's roll with it." And when I came back on, I said, hey, I just got right into it. Reason why I said that, because I was looking at this thing with Russell Simmons, and he was talking about the story how he put Run DMC together. Now, of course, we know Run, which is Joey Simmons. That was Russell Simmons' brother. He knew he could rap, but he was talking about his friend Darren McDaniels, which we all know as DMC. He said, "Yeah, but my boy's just as good. We be doing this and this and this and this and that." He's like, "Okay." So he said, "Bring him by the house." So he's like, "All right, I'll bring him by the house." So, which was actually his office at Rush Management. So as story goes, he's like, "Yeah, it's my partner. He know how to do this. He know how to do that." So Russell says, "All right, let me hear what you got." So DMC says, "Would you want me to do it right now? I mean, I didn't prepare anything. Let me do it now." Russell Simmons said, "Listen." He turned to his brother and said, "Listen, can he rap? Because if he can't rap, step the hell off." So DMC like, "What the? Oh, really?" So that's when he spit some rhymes, and Russell Simmons was so impressed. He's like, "See, that's all you gotta do. Never take the excuse about well, right now, right here, I can't do it. I'm not in the mood." There's people been doing stuff that's not in the mood, and they still happen to do what they got to do. Heck no. I had a lot of running around, Mr. TC, to do today, and I'm still working and doing things and all that stuff like that. But like I'm an honest person, and I told you, I said, "No, I'm not, but let's go with it." I got myself together, and that's how I am. Somebody clearing their throat, and I don't know why, but that's why I use that, Mr. TC. Thank you, sir, for hearing my story.
So the point of hearing your story, sir, is because I believe I gave you that speech, and I was the one who told you that. Every time I tell you something, I get on you and say, "Look, Will, I don't want to hear it. Look, you either gonna do it or you ain't gonna do it. If you gonna do it, you better just do it. I don't want to hear nothing. Just do it. And he always like, you know what? This is how I feel about you, sis. I'm like, for real? This really what you got to say to me? And he like, yeah, this is what I really got to say to you. But he won't never say it to my face. He'll never say it to my face. But his attitude shows you this.
You damn right. Damn right.
I like, Will, what did I say? I like, Will, I said move it. What do you say?
No.
What you say, Will? What you say?
It's mine.
They say what?
It's mine. I would dance, but I can't do it. Okay, pause that part. Pause that part.
All right, now what you want?
Everything cool. Not well. I don't get girls like that no more. I got a WIFE, and she heard that part. She be like, "Oh, really? Oh, really?"
And ain't that amazing? They'll just jump out on that one little part. Forget
So
all the
you
rest
know
of
what
the
I
stuff.
say? You know what I say to that? You know what I say to that? This is what I say to that. You know what? Y'all ain't gotta do this to my brother. Y'all ain't gotta be like that. My brother's the sweetest thing you can ever know. Just be careful how you cross him. That's all.
Better believe it.
He'll do anything
I become
for you.
TC too. I become TC Knight too.
I hear you. I hear you.
But you know what? When that song comes on, this is what I say to y'all. What he say? What he say? With his little gumbo haircut. He talking to you, Emmy. He treats you right, baby. Don't treat him cold because of that one verse.
Oh well. That's right. Giving it to you.
Don't act like that, boo. Because you know what? Don't be. And you know why?
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah.
This is why. This is why he don't want you to be cruel. Because you already know you is his tenderoni.
Go ahead. You better talk it.
This is the best gift I can give my brother. I can send him a love song to sing to his wife.
You better tell it.
She's a sweet little girl.
Yes, she is. We close the door on this one.
Only to your mommies can give a special love. A special kind of love when you feel good inside. If you believe in love and all that it can do.
What you say?
You get a picture.
Find the man. Find the tenderoni that's right.
Then what? Give her that ring. Give it to her.
Give me your love.
What about your heart?
My heart belongs to Aroni.
Yes.
She's my only love. My heart. She's my only love.
All right, did I fix that up for you? Did I fix it for you? Did I fix it for you?
What is
Well, sis, sis, you know what? Thank you for that. Nothing was really broken, but I'm gonna tell you later on when I get home, and after we do the 9 o'clock, it's gonna be probably some trouble for me. Good trouble though, not bad trouble. Good trouble.
Lord have
oh,
mercy.
it's gonna be a happy Father's Day.
Oh Lord
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah,
mercy. Oh
yeah,
God.
yeah.
So
But
so
listen,
so if that's the
listen.
case, so wait a minute. So let me warn everybody now. So there's a possibility because if I play the song long enough, Facebook gonna be like, that's enough. So far they've been nice to us. They only been just muting some stuff out, and I've been trying to catch it along the way. So remember, if we get cut off, just tune right back in because I'm bringing us right back in. So don't worry about it. And also know that you can also find us on YouTube where we do not get cut off. So
Nope.
I'm going to send this next one out since he says he's going to always get in trouble. But this dedication is, there's not a lot of daddy songs. There's some daddy songs, but there's not a lot. So instead, we decided that we're going to play daddy's favorite song. So since we're playing daddy's favorite songs, these songs are the songs that we know of certain daddies on this platform. These songs are related to them. So since he said he gonna get in trouble tonight,
Good trouble.
it's gonna be because of TC's favorite song.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
No, you'll be good. You're gonna be straight.
Peabo Bryson? Okay.
Yeah.
And you know what's gonna happen, Will? Emmy gonna tell you this when you come in the bedroom.
Something has told me stay in my head.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
And alone.
You wanted
You
me
wanted me to love you when you said, oh, please reach out and touch me. My love is in your hand. Feel me. I want to feel the fire. I want to feel you.
Hey, that sound like good trouble. That sound like good trouble. I think that sound like good trouble. That sound like good trouble.
Yeah, oh, that's definitely good trouble right there. You better
Yeah,
believe
that's
it.
some good trouble.
That's good trouble.
Yeah, that's some good trouble.
That's good trouble right there.
TC,
Yes, sir.
my phone is about ready to shut off because I didn't unfortunately bring my charger with me.
Okay.
But I would like for you, if you can tonight, pop in at 9 o'clock. You know, when we do the little oldie special.
Okay.
And you can sit with us for a few while I spin these songs and talk memories, me and my sister, like we always do. The show is usually, you know, it's how we do it is I do it. My sister's an engineer. But see, me, I like to talk. You know what I mean? I could talk. So why not bring someone in there who likes to talk just as much as me? And that's my sister. Hi, Shauna. How you feel? Love you. Mwah. So anyway,
Hold on. I was
wait a
being
minute. No, I'm talking to this. I'm talking to this man here. I'm talking to this man here.
Hold
I'm talking to this man here. Hold up.
No. Really? Is that what you did to me? Seriously? Really?
Mr. TC.
I thought we were going to get through the show. I thought we were going to get through the show without an icon today.
Listen. But I do that. But that's what I do. Remember, Mr. TC. She is a She is a stinging Scorpio, and I am a Sagittarius. Sagittarius like to pull the chains. So yes, I pull her chain.
And I understand exactly what you're saying. Being is
Got it.
that I was wait a minute, wait. Being that I was born November 30th, and
Oh,
my original due date, because I was born 2 weeks late, was November 16th. So trust
you've
me,
been a
I
Scorpio.
understand. I understand. My original, I came 2 weeks later and was born on the 30th. I was going to be born a Scorpio initially. Yo, so y'all are funny.
Sagittarius in the house. You
Yes,
know what,
sir.
sir? I
Yes,
was
sir.
born November 26th. I was born
Okay.
November 26th.
Right there,
So
the same week,
yes,
man. We right there.
yes.
Right there.
So she, if she was sitting right here, she'd be trying to throw water on me or whatever. She'd be trying to chase me or whatever, but she can't catch me anyway. But still, if it would be your pleasure, sir,
Thank you.
anytime tonight while we get into it, because her hair is going to stand up. She's like, I'm going to kick your ass when I see you.
Listen,
Anyway,
she hitting you with these icons, boy, so you got it coming later.
I know. So it was a pleasure meeting you. And yes, happy Father's Day to you, sir.
Thank you,
And
sir, and the same to you.
and we're going to do business. I know you and Shauna talk, about what we're going to do have coming up and stuff like that.
Yes,
So
sir.
it should be good. It should be
I
good.
appreciate it. Yes, thank you. Thank
All
you
right,
very
now
much.
let me get, yes, sir. Let me get back to cleaning this daycare so I can go home and prepare for 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
And
you
be
do
prepared
that. You do that. How about you do
and be,
that?
and prepare to get cursed out later.
Yeah. No, like after the show, you're gonna get a phone call. Like seriously, somebody that talk as much as you do. Really?
I love you. I
No,
love you.
no. Go ahead with that.
TC.
Go
Yes.
ahead with
TC.
that.
Yes,
Bye,
sir.
Thank you, sir.
bye, bye,
Bye.
bye,
Peace to the
Bye.
king.
bye.
Peace.
Leave.
Peace.
Leave
Peace.
already. For I shut
Mwah.
you down.
Love you.
I don't want none of your sour kisses. He gets
Love
my
you.
nerves. He irks my everlasting nerve. And with that being said,
Oh,
I'm taking all my Father's Day gifts back to him.
you can't. It's too late.
Punch
Sorry, it's
him
too
right.
late.
No, it ain't too late.
It
It's
is. It's
never
too
too
late.
late.
It's,
I'll think of
it's too late.
something. I'll think
Are
of
you,
something.
okay, you got to think of something, but it's
Yeah, I'm
too
gonna
late
get him
for the.
tonight at 9 o'clock. So
Yeah, there you go.
all y'all come back to the No BS Duo show tonight. Come
Y'all
back.
are hilarious,
Come back
man.
tonight, 9 o'clock, when we take it back oldies. When he gonna really show y'all just how old he is. And I'm just gonna show
Hilarious.
y'all how much I'm the better phone DJ than he is at a regular radio station
Wild.
DJ.
Wild. Y'all are wild.
So we'll see how this plays out tonight. I think we're gonna dance tonight. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
We
Uh-oh.
might battle. We might battle because
Uh-oh.
I had to kick
Uh-oh.
the little pop out on him
Uh,
last night. I
uh-oh.
started doing the whopper stuff. I
Uh-oh.
went to the point that
Uh-oh.
I said, wait a minute now. I don't want to get whiplash like I did back in the day because we whopped
Uh-oh.
too hard. We was,
Woo. Uh-oh.
we got
Okay.
whiplash. But I
Uh,
didn't know your due date was November
yeah,
16th.
I was originally scheduled to actually be born November 16th while still in North Carolina actually. And but my mother wound up coming back up here. It was a blizzard, so I decided to come during the middle of the blizzard. And yeah, I was very big and very long. So and my mother partake in the alcoholic libations. So I was born jaundiced at 14 pounds and had to be exposed into an incubator because of my length and my size. And it was, you know, the story was it was not a good look for the light skinned boy being born at 14 pounds and crammed into an incubator. I was too big for.
You know what? I think about the incubator. I think about when they did a little bit lighting for Jared,
Hmm.
and they put the little things on their eyes, and the way he had his thing positioned, he put his leg up on the pillow and had it like this. I said, why he only a couple of days old, looking like he laying on the beach somewhere? I was like, oh God, this is my child, and for
He,
life he does that.
he said,
I'll be laying on the bed, and he'll come and lay on my back the same way, arm here, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it never
yeah,
ends.
They said it wasn't enough room for me to stretch out. So he was like, I barely had enough room to turn in these incubators, man. They was like, I was the talk of me and my mother was the talk of the hospital at the time. They was like, wow, that baby. How many? How did she have to get cut? No, how many stitches did she have? He's like, none. He's like, wow. It was my father has the funniest stories about when I was born, man, because he he was half a day late getting there because he was told the wrong time. It was just crazy stuff. Showed up at the hospital drunk and on fire.
Oh,
Had the wrong name, so he looking for it was crazy. When he tells that story, it is hilarious. It is hilarious.
it's funny that you say that because I laughed. My funniest Father Days. My funniest Father Day story is y'all all know I'm a skater too. And we had hardwood floors underneath our carpets. And at that time, the way the carpets was on the floor, they was almost like how we have now with the area rugs. So they were old, they were starting to get messed up. So I thought I would do my family a favor, taking them up.
Right.
I took them up and pulled the staples up out the wood and buffed the floor and sanded it all up, and then went and got some Mop and Glow. Y'all remember Mop and Glow? I put that Mop and Glow on the floor, shined the floor up all nice, made it look like Elmwood's floor. Grabbed my skates, put the music on. I'm skating in the middle of the living room floor. All of a sudden, I hear my dad walking up the steps. Good thing for me, there was like 15 steps to get into the house before you got to the porch. So I had a little time to get away.
Right.
So I ran into the kitchen, kicking my skates off real quick. And my dad walks in the house with his work shoes on.
Oh, my Lord.
And slid from the front door to the kitchen. So by the time he got to the kitchen, all he saw was my eyes wide open looking down at him like, what you down there for? And he said, who in the name of God? Who in the name of God waxed the floors? I was like, I didn't wax the floor. He said, what you put on the floor, girl? I said, Mop and Glow. He said, what the hell you think Mop and Glow? I said, he said, what you Mop and Glow the floor for? I said, because I wanted to go skating. He said, oh, shit.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Hilarious.
The stories that I have with me and my dad is amazing. Like for almost, I think 6 years, 5 years, I wouldn't call him Daddy. I would call him Gilbert. Okay. Because that's what my mom called him. So I called him what my mom called him. So he would give my mom a kiss and I would go, my kiss. So it was like truly amazing. Me and my daddy's stories were like truly amazing. So with that being said, I want y'all to remember y'all best daddy stories. Hold on to those stories and hold on to your daddies. If your daddies is not here, hold on to those memories until you see him again. Because he left you with a lot of memories to hold you. And he knew that you was going to be okay. He knew that you did the job well done. So he was able to go home and rest. So.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So if your daddies are not alive, still send them some love. Send them through the heaven's gates. Send them up in the air.
So they're still here, and a lot of times when for those that don't know, I'm also a prayer warrior. And it's funny because that was a title that I kind of took lightly for a very, very long time. Because you never know what God has you manifested and destined for. So it was just always something I ignored or talked little about or away from. But that's the one thing I always say is when we pray that those that are not here in the body physically, they're still here because we're here. And as long as we're here, their spirit is still alive.
Yes.
So never live in the emotion of the body not being here, because it's just like anything. As long as you have a memory of, as long as you have a characteristic, my father, brothers, sisters, we all look alike, and we're different shades. We're from the darkest of dark to the lightest of light. And even
Mm-hmm.
and even with our children, so many of my cousins, little cousins are even, into that part of our family. Excuse me, that part of our family. Our children look alike. The genes are strong. My daughters look like my little cousins, and vice versa. And people understand, as long as that's going on, they are always here. Happy Father's
Yep.
Day, fam. They are always here with us. So, and that's why they come to us in our dreams. That's why we laugh at certain things when we're going through something, or something happens. You think about it and you just laugh like, "Dang, when Pop was here, or when Dad was here, or when Pop did this." Those things are very, very necessary, so that the memory and the spirit of our people are never forgotten, because they never are. They're with us all the time. When I answer the phone, or when I talk to certain people, if I even I answer my father's phone, they be like, "Yeah, Steve, such and such." I said, "No, no, hold on." And they be like, "Who was that?" And he'll say, "Oh, that's the baby." They're like, "What?" They said, "He sound like you." He said, "Wait till you see him," because my
Mm-hmm.
father,
Mm-hmm.
my father is, my father's 5'8", 5'9", a buck 60, buck 70. And people look at me and say, "Well, dang, where you come from?"
Yeah, I know, right?
They're like, "Dude, you big as a house." They're like, "Where you come from?" And your father, I said, "My father used to, he was always, I guess you could say, short, for the lack of a better word, he was short. But he used to work out by this, so he had his swell on. But as he got older, just, the muscles atrophy, but he has a different type of workout, a different type of lifestyle now. So he manages his weight very easily and much better. Where I'm still out here, 320 plus, and just, I'm here." You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
He's like,
right,
"Well,
right.
but they say it all the time. Say, man, yo, you look just like him. You just lighter, or you sound just like him on the phone." Or my sisters, "Yeah, you sound just like Daddy." I'm like, "Oh, all right, so I know I must be on the right track."
Definitely, definitely. Because it's funny because some of the things I've been blessed where I fit on both sides of my family. So whenever you see me, depending on which family I'm with, is who I look
Hmm.
like at that time.
Right, right, right,
Like, when I'm with all my Frazier family, you can see a lot of them in me because of my
right.
mom. But then when I'm with my dad, it's something that I'll do. Either I'll dance or I'll smile or I'll laugh. And and the grandkids, they all got his color eyes.
Okay.
Now my baby sister, she has my daddy's smile.
Hmm.
Like all day to see her, she's my daddy's smile all
Hmm.
day. If you ever want to see how my dad looks when he smiles, look at her.
Right. Got you. Got you.
And but my young, that's my baby sister. That's my stepsister. And my sister, she looks the same way. We
Got you.
all just have that bond there. But it's
Hmm.
funny because when we all go down south, I remember we went down south and we went into the Walmart. It was like hilarious. We walked into the Walmart and they was like, "Lord Jesus, look, there go Francis kids." Then walked up in the house. Now, I mean, from the door of Walmart, like
Right.
Walmart, like you think of the city. Now, the city
Uh
of
huh.
Elizabethtown is really not that big, but it's not that
Right.
small.
Right.
But
Right.
you
Right.
go
Right.
in there to see somebody and you don't mention the child's father, but you mention the child's grandmother.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you go,
That's
"Oh,
how it is.
look at her, look at her." And we looking like we don't know what they're talking about. And then they said, "Y'all from up north?" And that's
Yeah,
when
that
we
is so
knew.
funny. That is
That's when
so
we
funny.
knew.
Yep, yep,
I was
yep.
like, "Well, Dag, we didn't say nothing. We didn't say hello. We just walked in. How did they know we was from the north?"
Because
And
how
we was
you
like,
dress.
"Yes." So it was like, "Yeah, you Francis kids." It was like Francis, like, "Yeah, you Giles kids, right?" I like, "But dang, like, was it written on the forehead?"
They gotta be in those towns and those places like that. Everybody knows each other, and it's generational. It's generational, and that came from how our communities were run, and how family stayed family, and we were a community. So everybody celebrated and everybody's family growing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that's what I love about going back home and going back to North Carolina. If I'm on my father's side of the family and I go down to Georgia, those are just the things that I love is by the time I get there to go see my cousins, you know, everybody knows I'm there. You know what I mean? And it's so funny because I'm going to see family, but of course, because I haven't seen them in a while or whatever, everybody, they want to ask about the movies and ask about the plays. That man, I just want to listen. I'm here to get away from that for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Right.
once we, then everybody want to feed you.
Yeah.
So and then once they like, come on, we're gonna go ride here, and then we riding around all these places,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's my cousin. That's my cousin. He come from Philly. He come down, he come see us from Philly. They're like, oh, you from up
Yeah.
north? I'm like, no, I'm actually from down here. I was raised up there, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. But it's a wonderful thing, and this is why we say, um, family in general. It's always good to make sure you stay in contact. You keep an eye and an ear on folks. Um, and like right now, like my father is funny and it's strange. Like my father is the favorite uncle, for all my cousins and everybody because he was the youngest of his siblings, so thus closest to my older cousins' ages and things like that. But growing up, the way, even though he was the youngest one, how he kept things in order, how he managed certain things and how he dealt with everyone, which gave a lot of structure, a lot of discipline, a lot of straightening out when my other uncles would be like, yeah, they be all right. He like, nah, they not. We're gonna fix this right now. So and again, like I said, he was the one that if there was somebody to live with because you was giving my auntie a problem or you was giving school a problem or you needed some straightening up, yeah, send him here for the summer. We'll work on
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
because
That was it.
my father also had his own businesses, so we had plenty to do. If you wasn't working on a lunch truck, you was working on a water ice truck. If you wasn't on a water ice truck, you was on the ice cream truck. If you wasn't on the ice cream truck, you was at the garage. So you was
Y'all was working.
you
Y'all
was
was
finna do
working.
as we say, you was fixing to do something. You ain't coming around here sitting around. You gonna earn your rest in the summertime if you had to live with Uncle Steve. So again, and that's one of those things that's another, impartation that Pop had was, showing you how to have a job, a career, a hustle, a grind, and a hobby, and making
Hmm.
money off all of it.
That's right. That's right. And with that one, I'm gonna do this dedication, and we're gonna close out to this one where Will Smith did the dedication with him and his son, with just the two of
Just
us.
the two of us. Yep.
Subject.
So like I said, we'll see y'all at 9 o'clock tonight, and we'll be back. But for now, from just the two of us at the No BS Duo Show, we want to say Happy Father's Day. TC,
Yeah.
we want to thank you for coming through, and
Thank
we
y'all for
gonna
being on
end
the.
it.
Thank you for being on the stoop with me.
Thank you for having me on the stoop.
Yes,
I see
yeah.
y'all later. We gonna play this out.
Time the doctor placed you in my arm. Why meet death before I let you meet harm? No questions arose in my mind without me man enough against wrong. Choose right. Me standing up from the hospital that first night. Took an hour just to get the car seat in right. Riding on fast got me kind of upset. Got you home safe, placed you in your bassinet. That night I don't think 1 week I slept as I slipped out my bed to your crib. I crept, touched your head gently. Felt my heart melt cause I knew I loved you more than life itself. Into my knees and I begged the Lord, please let me be a good daddy. All he needs is love, knowledge, discipline too. I pledge my life to you. Just the two of us can take it if we try. Just two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I. years old, bringing comedy. Every time I look at you, I think, man, a little me, just like me. Wait and see, wanna be tall, makes me laugh, cause you got your dad's ears and all. Sometimes I wonder, what you gonna be? A general, a doctor, maybe an MC. I wanna kiss you all the time, but I will test that butt when you cut out a line. True that, why you do that? Try to be a tough dad, but you be making me laugh. Crazy joy, when I see the eyes of my baby boy, I pledge to you, I will always do everything I can. Show you how to be a man, dignity, integrity, honor, and I don't mind if you lose, long as you came with it. And you can cry, ain't no shame in it. It didn't work out with me and your mom, but yo, push come to shove, you conceived in love. So if the world attacks and you slide off track, remember one fact, I got your back. Just the two of us, we can take it if we try. Just two of us, just me and you. Just the two of us, just the world. Just the two of us, castles in the sky. Just the two of us, you and I, yeah. It's a full-time job to be a good dad. You got so much more stuff than I had. I gotta study just to keep with the changing times. 101 Dalmatians on your CD-ROM. I'm trying to pretend I know on my PC where that CD go. But yo, ain't nothing promised. One day I'll be gone. Feel the strife, but trust life does go on. But just in case, it's my place to impart. One day some girls wanna break your heart, and ooh, ain't no pain like from the opposite sex. Wanna hurt bad, but don't take it out of the neck, son. Throughout life, people will make you mad, disrespect you and treat you bad. Let God deal with the things they do, cause hate in your heart will consume you too. Always tell the truth, say your prayers, hold doors, pull out chairs, easy on the sweat. You live in proof that dreams come true. I love you and I'm here for you. Just the two of us, we can take it if we try. Just me and you, just me and you. Just the two of us, taking the world. Just the two of us, building castles in the sky. Just the two of us, you and I. Can't nothing hold us down. The two, hold my hand, hold my hand. Just the two of us, just the two of us, building castles in the sky. Just the two of us, you and I. Take it from the world. Just me and you. I'm always here for you. Look over your shoulder, I'll be there. Whatever you need, just call on me. We gon' rise, whatever we gon' shine. I'll be that boy anytime. You and I. True that, true that. Just the two. Just the two. Daddy loves you. Daddy loves you. Woo. Just the two of us. You and I. For the rest of your life. The two of us.
Really good song. What should my kid pay for this, Dad?